What the fuck?
Don't give a fuck.
The topic of this video is when to and when not to give a fuck. So yeah, we're back up to our old tricks again in our own spot because we fucking love Denny's. What's that? This is on my head? It's a raccoon hat. It keeps my head warm. What's that? You don't like my raccoon hat? I don't give a fuck. See, that's good timing. We're gonna help you guys figure out the discretion of when to and when not to give a fuck. Waiter, what the fuck's my drink?
See, there's certain things I give a fuck about and I don't give a fuck about. One thing I really don't give a fuck about is you fuck niggas. Two things I do give a fuck about is like pussy and money. You see, there's certain situations you need to give a fuck about. Now we're going to explain how to give a fuck and how not to give a fuck. I know it's hard to not give a fuck about certain things, but we're going to show you how, alright? Stay tuned.
Now you see, one good time where you really shouldn't give a fuck is when it comes to females. Or niggas, for you females out there. You see, when you're fucking with somebody and they act like they don't really care if you talk to them, and you're always forcing yourself on them to talk to them, and if they ever hit you with a K in a text message, and they're not mad at you, there's an issue. What you people gotta realize is that if they act like they don't give a fuck, why are you forcing yourself on them? Let the motherfucker do what they want to do. I'm not saying you have to ignore them, but just stop giving a fuck. Because the minute you stop giving a fuck, they'll magically give a fuck. Sheesh.
What I realize is like, niggas only give a fuck when they feel like their feelings are in jeopardy. And that's fucked up because look, if you're giving 100% at first and she's giving 20%, I understand why you're going to pull back a little bit. But you're going to need to understand, everybody's going to need to understand, the only way a relationship is going to work if each person is giving as much as the other person is giving. And if you feel like they're giving too much at that point in time, you need to let them know, look, you're giving too much. That's when don't giving a fuck comes into play because if your girlfriend's giving you 20 and you're giving 100 and you feel like you're not getting enough, don't try harder because you're going to lose it. You're going to push her away. Just stop giving a fuck. And I guarantee you she's going to start trying to show more because she sees you falling back. So do that.
This fucking Sunday is amazing. Now, I know a lot of people are always commenting about how we only make relationship videos. We don't really talk about real shit besides that. I don't give a fuck. But like I said, this whole video is about when to and when not to give a fuck. For example, if you work in a job where you can dress casually and you swag the fuck out every day, yet there are certain niggas that talk about you and the way you dress every day, but you never said shit to them, and yet all the females and or all the niggas in the other splits, hopefully not niggas on niggas, seem to like how you dress, why do you give a fuck? Sheesh.
You got a whole bunch of bitches feeling you and shit, and there's that one bitch that calls you ugly. Now, mind you, that bitch is ugly as fuck, and she's fat, okay? And her weave is falling out. I don't understand why that weave is so loose. Now, she's calling you ugly. Why do you care when you have all the bitches on you anyway? Everybody likes your swag. Everybody thinks you're on point. But you need to realize there's a time to and not to give fucks. And those are one of the times not to give a fuck.
My shoes are fucking dope. Oh, sorry. Come back. Anyway, another good moment not to give a fuck is if your boss is an asshole. If your boss is an asshole, scratches their head a lot, yells for no apparent reason, and always complaining about what you're doing wrong, yet for some reason you're still getting hours and making money and taking care of what you need to take care of. Why do you give a fuck? Some people just like to complain. As long as that shit ain't affecting your money or you personally, keep it moving.
Another way that you shouldn't give a fuck about, it's when, you know, your mom, your pops, or whatever, is always complaining about the shit you doing and shit. Or why you're not doing this and that. Let me tell you something, nigga. You know, they're always going to be there to talk shit. Love your parents to death, but they're always going to be there to talk shit. What you need to do is realize you're on your track. If you are on track, nigga, just stay on track. You shouldn't give a fuck about people trying to down your situation when you're on your shit. You feel me? If you're on your shit, why give a fuck about people who is not on their shit and talking shit about your shit. You feel me? Keep going on your shit and let them do their shit while they talking shit. That's real shit.
Another good time not to give a fuck really is when maybe one year you didn't really have a lot of nice clothes and shoes and all that stuff, and next year you get a job, you start stepping it up, you get Nikes and Jordans out the ass. Once you step your style up, no matter how many new things you start getting into, there's always going to be somebody to hate on you. There's always going to be somebody to bring you down, because people hate to see people that they look down on coming up. They hate to see it. So if you're not in the cool crowd and then you start personifying this cool crowd, even if it's not necessary on purpose, and they still hate on you, stop giving a fuck. Especially if you're in high school. What the fuck?
Don't give a fuck. There's only 5 things I give a fuck about that anybody should give a fuck about. The main things you should give a fuck about, honestly, and I'm not going to go all into them, I'm just going to list them. And if you can go ahead and go all into them yourself, okay? Go ahead and respond, subscribe. I guess we're supposed to say subscribe to our videos. I don't give a fuck. Now, the things you should give a fuck about is money, of course. Now, above money, God. So, God's number 1. Give a fuck about God. Give a fuck about your money. Go get that money, man. Go get that money, man. Go get it. Give a fuck about your education. Because education is everything. If you got that paper that says you educated, you got that shit. So go get educated. Go get a motherfucking job. Because you know you some broke ass niggas out there. Go get a fucking job. And your swag. You niggas out here with no swag. Yes.
Anything else?
Sheesh. So you just
The apple crisp.
you go ahead. You gotta have fun with that.
Yeah, but to go.
Go?
Yeah.
See, that's why I can't chill with him.
I love my apple crisp and I do give a fuck about that. So yeah, that's basically the things. Like swag, like I said. Give a fuck with swag because you niggas out here can't dress.
This video is brought to you by Denny's, Swag Farm Productions, Don't Care Productions, Papa K, Big Daddy Ralphie. We just don't give a fuck. Not one fuck, not 2 fucks, not half a fuck. I don't even give enough of a fuck to think about giving a fuck. What's that? You thought I actually cared for a second? You're a mistake. You see, it's kind of like this. When somebody ran up to you and they put a gun to your back and they said, I'm gonna fucking kill him if you don't give me 1 fuck. Shit. I'd love to help you, but I seem to find a fuck to give. Guys, just stop giving a fuck, okay? Don't give a fuck about people that don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about people who aren't affecting your money. Don't give a fuck about people that don't like you. Just learn to discuss when it makes sense to give a fuck and when not to give a fuck. And I guarantee you, life will be a little bit better because you don't give a fuck.